coming at me with a knife, that if they don't stop, coming at me, and if they get close, as they're getting closer, I wouldn't shoot right away. But if they get close enough, once they get into that zone where they're able to stab me, I will shoot them, but I will warn them beforehand, and hopefully that would stop them. But if I'm a cop, I shouldn't have to shoot them in that situation. And there's also, other ways, other things that they have where, they have their tasers and their whatever batons and shit like that. And, depending on how big the knife is, if it's literally a machete, I mean, that's okay. I understand that. Or a chainsaw or something. But if you're talking about, a 3-inch knife, a cop should be able, for the most part, you would think they should be trained to take care of that situation without using a gun. But, of course, they're trained to just pull the gun and, shoot the person. But anyway, so we're going to play this video. I will stop the audio while we're going through it, obviously, because the listeners can't, hear it. I mean, can't. You can hear it. You can't see it. So I will stop it. But I'm glad I came across this because, again, these are the type of things that happen all the time now and these has been, stuff like this has been going on for, I don't know how long, even before they had tasers. Instead, they'd probably just, beat them in the head with a baton or something. But this guy literally does nothing wrong at all. And the cop should have talked to him. He was about, he wasn't close enough where the guy could hit him or anything. The guy wasn't moving towards him, nothing like that. He just went like taser crazy and pulls out the taser and keeps telling him, if you don't turn around, I'm going to taser you. He sounds like a little bitch to me, the cop, like he's scared. That's the whole thing too. I mean, the guy was black, and like I said, I mean, I look at things where I focus on the issue being the cops, but the cops look at a lot of black people, especially younger black people, but in general, like, oh, he's black, so he's probably a criminal, so he might have a gun or something. And that's where I think a lot of these, shootings of black people come from, is that, and I've said this before, I don't think it's necessarily that all the cops are racist, although I think they're racist. It's a racist organization, the police. But I don't think every single cop is racist, and that every cop that kills somebody, it has to do with racism. It has to do with, because that wouldn't be racism, it would be discrimination. So, but it does have to do with the idea that, well, they're black, they must be a criminal. Now, at the same time, if it was a white person, would he have done the same thing? I think if it was a younger white, like if it was me, yeah, I think he would have done the same thing. If it was an older person in like a suit or something, I don't know if he acted the same way. Cops pretty much, if you don't do exactly what they want you to do, whether they have the right to tell you to do it or not, it's getting where it doesn't really matter unless you're, one of the elite or something like that. If it was the mayor or a senator and they knew who they were or something like that, obviously, okay, they're going to back off there. But I don't know that it would have made a difference. But I think the fact that he was black is that he right away, this guy could possibly be a criminal. Like, that thought is in his head. And that's and not even discrimination, I guess prejudice, because he's prejudging the guy and right away, well, he's black, he must be a criminal. So I do think that is the reason why a higher percentage of black people are shot by police than white people, even though more white people are actually shot by police, but there's more a higher population. I think police, though, it doesn't matter. It's about power. It's about the police being in control and them telling you what to do and all of that. So that's why, for me, I focus on the fact that I don't think the police should exist, not with the powers that they have and being a part of the government. So that is my issue. It's not to focus on something else like, oh, let's just focus on the black people that are killed. We should be focusing on, well, I never want to say we should, but I focus on the police being the issue, because I think that's getting lost in a lot of these protests, the police being the issue, the government being the issue, and it's turning into, well, it's all about race. And it's not all about race. Race can factor into it. Like I said, I think that there's that prejudgment there, but I think they want to treat people badly anyway. I mean, at the same time, they have the attitude, they have the chip on their shoulder, they have, I'm a cop, I can do whatever they want. So they're going to do that to anybody. But I think they're just going to be a little quicker to pull the trigger when it comes to a black person. But, it all depends on the person. So maybe not. But I think as a general statement that a lot of cops just see young black males as criminals. I think there's that prejudice there. So we'll play the video, and like I said, I'll stop it from time to time to it's about 11 minutes, 12 minutes. So as we go through it, I'll stop it and let people know what's going on and jump in with my opinion as well. So right now you have a cop that the car's parked where the front end is in the driveway, the back end is is kind of on the sidewalk. So it's not totally on the sidewalk. It's like if you pulled into a driveway and you pulled kind of diagonally where half of it's on the sidewalk, the front end is in the garage. So that's but the cop is standing there with his with the fucking door open, looking in the car. So that's kind of fucked up right there. And it looks like we're having an issue where it's only coming through on one side. That may be the recording, so I apologize for that. Like, it's only coming through on the right side. So if you, say, have a stereo and you were playing it through there, it's not coming through one of the speakers. So right now, the cop's standing at the car. The guy walked across the street. He's about where the front of the car is. And the cop is past where it's a 2-door and is past or right about, where the door ends of the driver's side door. So, I mean, they're not... I guess if the guy took a couple steps forward, he could hit him, but he's not close enough from where he's standing to hit the cop. And, the cop could always, take a couple steps back himself. I don't know why they have this attitude that they have to be the aggressors, of course. And that's what they do. They aggress against people when that's not even their job. But he could take a couple steps back and just talk to him. I understand the being, I wouldn't say nervous, but as somebody who's been in a lot of fights where if somebody's standing there, you don't want them close enough where they can sucker punch you or something like that. And I would always have that on my mind if I was having an argument with somebody or something like that, where if somebody came, for a while I had a rule that if somebody came close enough to hit me and it was that type of situation, not like a friend or that I'm talking to, but if it's somebody, sitting there talking shit or whatever, that if they came close enough to hit me, I would hit them, because that would be, in self-defense, because they could hit me. So either that or, back up. So I don't, end up getting hit. And right now he's still not the guy. We'll just call him the guy, I guess. The victim really is what he is. He's not, he's talking a little with his hands and he's pointing over to across the street, but not towards the officer. But he's not moving forward or anything like that. Now he did move forward. So now I guess he did move forward. The cop just said, turn around, turn around. So he's trying to tell him, well, I work over here. And then he's like, you're going to give me a ticket then? And he asked for his ID, and he didn't even give him a chance to give him his ID. He's just like, turn around, put your hands behind your back or whatever. And the officer is now further away because he took about 3 or 4 steps back, pulled out the taser and said, turn around, you're going to get tased. So he is pointing the taser at him. And the guy's pointing across the street, talking about something. And he's like, I'm not going to turn around. I didn't do anything. And he didn't do anything. And you know what? Why should you comply and turn around to get arrested when he didn't do anything? He was sitting there. You're going to arrest him because the way his car is parked. He didn't refuse to give him his ID. He didn't give him a chance to give it to him. He's just trying to explain, okay, this is why my car is here. He was trying to get out of a ticket is basically what he's doing. So He's sitting there trying to get out of a ticket, essentially.